I was in college at Norwich University. It was the first day of school. I went to go check my mail to see if I had gotten anything, and I head down there, and that's when I first really got a first glimpse of the first tower had been hit, second tower still standing.
I was in 7th grade. I was in English class at the time when we heard, and they took us all across the hallway, which was the gym, and they just put a bunch of TVs there, and they made us watch what was going on. Nobody could believe what was going on.
I was a DA civilian working at the United States Disciplinary Barracks, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. I actually found out from one of the inmates who worked for me. He came running in at the time, and it was, Ms. Menger, Ms. Menger, Ms. Menger. The World Trade Centers have just been hit by an airplane.
Everybody was huddled around the TV, and I was kind of joking. I was like, what's going on? They're like, somebody just flew a plane into the World Trade Center. I'm like, no way. And I walked over, and they pulled it back up, and they pulled the shot up just in time to see the second plane run into the second tower.
I remember I was sitting in driver's ed in high school, and I had looked up and I saw these planes hit the Twin Towers, and I was just kind of like, whoa. And then I was like, oh, what movie is this? And then the little news thing popped up, and I was like, this is for real? And everyone just kind of went quiet, and we were just kind of watching it over and over again.
Sitting in my 1st grade classroom, it was like a free time, and we were allowed to do what we wanted, and I was sitting on the floor reading a book. They came over to the intercom and told the teachers that they weren't allowed to let any students out of the classroom for any reason. And then that lasted until like 2:30, and then they told the teachers that if any of the students needed to go anywhere, they had to call the office and somebody had to escort the student.
It was really surreal. I mean, it was hard to process. You didn't think it was really happening. It was like something off a movie.
I went home and I called my dad, and he had told me, yeah, I was actually supposed to be cutting the grass in front of the Pentagon that day. And I was like, are you serious? And that is when it really hit me.
Yeah, then 9/11 happened, and it actually felt like we had a reason to stand up and support our country, and I took the opportunity to go ahead and sign up and do it.
Whenever I think about that day, the first thing that pops in my head is the news broadcasts, where the first thing that you see are the Twin Towers and the first plane hitting. That is the one thing that always pops into my head first.
Did 9/11 influence my decision to come back in the Army? Sure it did, because I'm absolutely proud to tell the soldier story and to tell my children, this is why we are the nation we are.